I haven't been updating OBS, and now it's crashing, so I guess I have to update it. But now that it's crashing, it hasn't given me the update reminder after it started crashing. So now I have to figure out how to update it by either looking into settings on my own or just like go to the OBS website and fucking update it, which is also a pain in the ass. I've gotten to... Microsoft has trained me to not update my software if they give you like a you should update your software notification, because every time you would update fucking Windows it would be an absolute shit show. Think your dad could beat Bill Gates in the ring? That would be the most pathetic fight. It would be even worse than Jake Paul versus whoever. Wait, what happened to Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? I can't even remember. Was it Mike Tyson just taking a fall on purpose because he's getting paid by Jake? Is that what happened? I can't remember. I think that's what happened, right? And it was like, oh, they did it! Jake did it! He won! It was like, LMAO. Yes. I'm sure Mike Tyson definitely, did not lose on purpose. They should just have a an entire sport called Rich Celebrity Who Has Trained Some Amount in Martial Arts versus Ex-World Champion Who is $1 million or $100 million in debt because he has too many cars and is being chased by the IRS, so he has to take humiliating fight packages where he's instructed to lose in a certain round. But I think that title is a little too long, so instead they just call it Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather or Mike Tyson or whatever. To be fair, Mike Tyson is pretty old, but still, like, let's be honest. Jake Paul versus George Foreman next year. If you actually could, like, do some sort of serious real-time booking, who would you like to see fight? And in what kind of martial arts format would you like to see them fight? Personally, I like to book people that we know legitimately hate each other. But don't actually like get an opportunity to fight each other. I'd rather book people who actually love the sport. No, I don't want people who love the sport. I want people who have just violent desires that they're not allowed to fulfill. Hamas Piker versus American government. The Unabomber versus American government and technology. How about that? Crazy basketball playoffs, huh? Yeah, I haven't seen crazy shit like this in a while, to be honest. It's pretty rare that we get this level of upsets in the NBA, which is a pretty stable sport, usually. So many pants shitters. I've been saying since last year that the Celtics were fraudulent. People were like, oh, the Celtics were the best team last year. And I was like, nah, they're fucking frauds. They basically beat nobody in the Eastern Conference because literally every single team they played had their best player injured. Jason Tatum is one of the most fraudulent NBA superstars of all time. I have 2 more weeks until finals. I might get an A in my Japanese. I don't fucking care. Once you get an A in Japanese, you'll finally be able to go to Japan and find your Japanese waifu. She'll be like, Nihongo jouzu desu ne? And then you can have sex with her. You'll know exactly what kind of noises she's making when she makes the JAV girl sounds. Ah, dame! Ichau no! We'll be like, that's exactly what I learned in JP 401. Get held up by 5 cops a day for being a foreigner. Japanese cops, unlike American cops, aren't actually going to shoot you, so it's not a big deal. You just need to be cooperative for like 20 seconds and they'll let you go on your way. And not be carrying like a fucking 20-inch long knife in your backpack like some of these dumbasses do. And you'll be fine. I've been stopped by Japanese cops in Japan because I look white enough to count as the foreigner tax. I've been like in a group with my friends when I was in high school and we were all on bicycles and the cops stopped only me even though we were all clearly going to the same high school and they're like, do you have your bicycle registered? And I'm like, what the fuck? You fucking racial profiling cucks. But it's Japan, so like every other human being in Japan, I didn't freak the fuck out and claim that they were being racist and I was going to call my lawyer, but I was just like, hi. And I showed them the registered sticker and they let me go on my way in like 2 minutes and it wasn't a big deal. So if you don't piss your pants and lose your cool, you're just fine. 90% of Americans who are like, Japan is actually so xenophobic, are like white people who this is the first time they've ever had their credentials of being allowed to do whatever the fuck they want being questioned. And then when you like see the interviews of black people, they're like, it's so nice to not have to worry about being shot by the police. Meanwhile, white women are like, it's not fair! The Japanese will never see me as one of their own. They're so racist. That's my white woman impression right there. What's up, guys? You ever get the Eigo Jozu? Or the Nihongo Jozu? if you can actually speak Japanese at a native level, then they won't say Nihongo Jozu because they see you as a fluent speaker of Japanese. So no, they're not like, oh, you're good at Japanese. If you're saying you're good at Japanese for more than like 10 minutes after you meet somebody, that means you're not good at Japanese because you're not having like a normal conversation. It means they're like, oh, he's so good at speaking, which means you're not good at speaking because they're focusing on the fact that, you know, you're trying to speak Japanese instead of having a normal conversation. So that's not a good sign. Black guys probably really appreciate just being looked at with curiosity. It's not even curiosity at this point. Japan is like so full of foreigners, unless you're going to like the absolute, completely uninhabited rural parts of Japan where they don't actually see foreigners very often. It's not like 20 years ago. If you're walking around in Tokyo, you'll see more fucking foreigners right now than you see Japanese people, and not just like any foreigners, like tourist foreigners. You know, extremely obnoxious tourist foreigners that everyone is getting sick of because they keep on doing stupid shit. We're in a completely different zone than we were in like 30 years ago. When I was going to Japan in the 90s, it's like, oh, it's a gaijin, it's a foreigner, whoa, they're special. But now it's like, god damn it, it's another fucking foreigner. You think you're special that because you saw Attack on the Titan and you're like, I love anime so much. This is the country where I can be myself, where they will truly appreciate my ability to use my katana. No, everybody, all the other anime fans are doing it too, and they're sick of you. Are you gonna watch Evo Japan? I was trying to, and then like the fucking Tekken stream that I turned on, the bitrate was so bad, it just looked like a fucking blurry mess. Although Tekken 8 already looks like a blurry mess. Also, fighting games aren't very good for background noise when I'm drawing because it's all like, Uehara ga! Gamin hashi! You know, it's just like the announcer fucking screaming hype phrases and shit while I'm trying to focus on drawing. And like you can't really tell what's going on because it moves too quickly if you're not looking at the screen. So considering I'm trying to draw like 10 hours a day, I'm probably not going to watch very much of it. I might watch the finals of each genre, but... Kimeta! Ah! It would be fine if they did that only in the fucking hypest moments, but the problem is that Aru, who is like the default announcer for this shit, is like that the entire fucking time. It's pretty rare when I'm just like, Japanese society is too hyperactive. It's too stressful. I can't handle this shit. I have to listen to the English version of this because I prefer the Japanese like voice acting and shit like that in 99.9% of any kind of media. But fighting games is often the exception in my case, where it's just like, okay, they're trying to be too hype. I can't handle this. This is too annoying. Didn't he do an ad for noodles or something? Yeah, but it's, I think it's Cup Noodles, right? Cup Noodle is just famous for just memeing shit, so it's not that out of the ordinary. Have you ever been hyped before? What, have I personally felt hype? Or have I had a personal hype man in the background yelling, screaming when I do something? Because those are two pretty different things. The self-control of Japanese people is almost supernatural. The amount of time I've seen people getting fucked with by a low-temp content creator is insane. Yeah, Japanese YouTubers, because Japanese society as a whole is a very chill place. Japanese YouTubers have become famous for being the most obnoxious, shitty people of Japanese society. I mean, in many ways, they're not that much different from like American Twitch, like Ice Poseidon type people. But the thing is that because the rest of Japanese society is so polite, the Japanese YouTubers, they really fucking stand out. So when you say I'm a YouTuber in Japan, that's not a positive thing. It means like the rest of society is probably going to treat you like a fucking cancer, which you should be considered, you know, because, you know, fuck YouTubers. You know about Ice? What the fuck? Fuck that guy. I never actually watch Ice Poseidon shit, but, you know, if you check my account when it was created like back when Twitch was still Justin TV, so I'm truly one of the most ancient viewers of Twitch content on this platform. I don't really follow the most famous people, but I sort of remember some of the people from back in the day. I mean, Ice Poseidon was one of the first, like, I'm gonna fuck shit up in real society kind of people, right? So I never have watched Forsen ever. I started getting on Twitch streams because StarCraft 2 had just came out, and I was like, holy shit, it's a new age of competitive video game esports. This is going to be so cool. StarCraft 2 came out just yesterday. Am I right, fellow Blizzard fans? I'm sure the StarCraft 2 competitive scene is just as great as it was back in 2009. I got on Twitch to watch Magic the Gathering tournaments. I started watching Magic the Gathering because there was this really good Japanese streams, so I would enjoy watching the Japanese commentary, but then they killed the Japanese channel because I think they didn't want to pay the Japanese commentators anymore, so then I stopped watching Magic the Gathering. Also, Wizards of the Coast has become one of the most horrible companies on the fucking planet, so that doesn't help either. People here mostly look at YouTubers like they are walking shit is not the same there. I mean, anybody who goes around in society creating quote-unquote content for YouTube is probably going to be a shithead, right? Because it means you're getting in people's way no matter what you're doing. Except for my hero, Mr. Beast, who brings joy and happiness to so many people on this planet. Mr. Beast, who has lifted millions of underclass Americans out of poverty by offering them $50,000 if they lick his asshole or whatever. I was shopping at Kroger the other day and I saw Mr. Beast candy bars, which are like Hershey's chocolate bars, except they're incredibly awesome. And also they cost more and have more sugar in them. And I was like, I'm so proud to be an American. Where I can walk into the fucking supermarket. I really hope that we'll look back at this time period and be like, Trump was president and the biggest fucking celebrity for children was this egotistical shithead. God, what a barbaric, awful time. I hope that we'll look back at this time like that instead of being like, it was so much better back in 2025, because that means our society will be truly in a horrible place. Having a selfie stick in the wilds of the city and filming is like putting a giant "kick me, I'm redundant" sign on their back. I feel like nowadays YouTubers have become like... They've gotten to the point where they have like drone cameras and like a camera crew. I see so many YouTube videos and it's clearly, they clearly have like a second cameraman or like a fucking drone following them around instead of just using a selfie stick. I can't be too mad at Mr. Beast since he donated so much to charity, to be honest. I think you're being fooled. I don't know if he actually donated to charity or not, but I don't really give a fuck about how much you donate to charity when a lot of that is tax deductible. B, you're still an asshole. Mr. Beast is like the actual cyberpunk dystopia scenario where you send a bunch of like poor people onto the fucking TV show and then have them do shit and then be like, here's some money! What was the RoboCop? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe all of you haven't seen RoboCop as many times. This is what I'm talking about.
I'd buy that for $1.
Would there be anything else, sir?
Yeah, empty the register and put the money in the bag.
Excuse me?
So give me your money and all of it, and don't fuck with me! Now move! Open the safe, Pops. Open the goddamn safe!
We don't have a safe.
Shit! There's your goddamn safe!
Ultra violence coming in 10 seconds.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, you better open that son of a bitch! Come on, come on! I'm gonna blow her brains out.
I'll open the safe.
Goodbye.
God, RoboCop is such a good movie. The camera work is just like the slight amount of camera movement that they do.
1, 2.
Drop the gun. You are under arrest.
He'll be fine, guys.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that for $1.
Anyways, they have an expansion on that I'd buy that for $1 guy. And it's just like, that's what Mr. Beast reminds me of. He shows up again in RoboCop 2 and shit. But it's just like cyberpunk dystopia capitalism, ultra money related humiliation fetish. Will you watch Paul Verhoeven's new movie? It's supposed to come out this year. What's it about? I didn't even know that he was still alive, to be honest. I will say that there was a recent RoboCop video game, and it's pretty fucking good. I don't know if it's a good video game, but it's a pretty good RoboCop video game. There's a 4chan meme of like, it's a good game, it's just not a good something game, but this RoboCop video game is kind of the opposite. I don't know how good a video game it is, but it's a pretty good RoboCop video game in terms of like being loyal to the source material. You can do like these fun little side quest shit, and in one of them, they have a bunch of people at the police station, like asking the police officers for information, and the as RoboCop, you stand in line, and you get to say yes and no responses to the people asking, And then, like, a mother comes up, and she's like, my son hasn't been home to the house in, so many days. And he's like, how old is your son? And she's like, he's 25. It's like, I do not have the authority to, give you information about grown adults. She's like, please, I haven't seen him. And then you can choose to either uphold the law or, be nice to the fellow citizens. So I was like, I'll be nice to the fellow citizens. And the response of being nice in this RoboCop game is RoboCop looks at the database and he's like, your son is dead. And she's like, no, God, no. And it's like, achievement unlocked. You helped your fellow citizens. I'm like, LMAO. Fucking dead. Yeah, nothing like having a cyborg, heartless motherfucker be like, your son is dead. It's the post-apocalyptic Detroit that I knew I wanted in my dreams. Also, you're not allowed to run, basically. You can only move at the same fucking speed as RoboCop in the movie, so you're basically stuck in walking mode. Like, you can click the left stick to run, but the running is like 1/3 the speed of a standard FPS game, so you're basically forced to walk at RoboCop speed, which is a very good directorial choice as a video game. It really shows that they're like, we don't care if the player is getting bored because you can only move at a certain speed. We're staying true to the source material, so that's also good as well. Yeah, just like lots of fun. I think it was like, it had like a budget of, $5 million or some shit like that. It shows that you can actually make a pretty decent AA game that looks like a AAA game with a very limited budget. If you have a concrete view of what you want to make. Can he double jump? He can't jump at all. LMAO. RoboCop doesn't jump. He just like walks at you and tanks all of your bullets and then shoots you. You are disrupting the law. What's the timeline for Chapter 4 looking like? Like release? So, this is the story page manager mode that I paid like $200 for. Because it's only available in the more expensive version of Clip Studio Paint. I'm sure even on the screen that you can see which pages are properly getting finished and which ones aren't. I.e. we're around page 7 out of fucking 45, so don't fucking hold your breath, okay? It's gonna take a bit of time. And this is me like drawing 10 hours a day. Well, it's not like 10 hours a day. I only drew like 4 hours yesterday, so. It's gonna be a chonker of a chapter. Yeah, I had to cover a bunch of stuff. AAA is just slop now. Do we have any good AAA video games coming out soon, guys, that I should be looking forward to? GTA was delayed till next year, right? Not that I was looking forward to GTA in any way, but you know what I mean. No. How this dude's hands don't hurt. It's important to not grip your pen too tightly. If you have to like death grip your pen and really smash it against the paper, you should lower the pen sensitivity settings so it's not as much pressure required. How is she able to pull knife ears without being cut? Elf ears are not actually knives. It's called a metaphor. Death Stranding 2, Kojima will make some Kino for sure. Is it coming out this year? Oh, we have Borderlands coming out. I'm not going to buy Borderlands at full price. I don't buy anything at full price, of course, but I'll buy Borderlands when it's like under $30, which will be next year. Despite how much I meme on Borderlands as a whole, I still enjoy the gameplay, so it's worth 1/5 of the asking price that they actually want you to pay. Keck W. Surely the story will be there. Oh, I forgot. I also have a special trick to make the Borderlands voice acting and story more tolerable. They don't offer Japanese voices in the normal menu, but if you change your region setting of my PlayStation to Japan, which you can just do by going into the menus, it automatically makes all the language and stuff into Japanese, so then I don't have to deal with all the fucking memes that they spout every single second. It's just wacky Japanese voice acting, which is 100 times better than getting the Reddit energy injected directly into your veins, and it allows me to actually play the game without pain. If I could only play it in English, I probably wouldn't play Borderlands at all. Borderlands 3 couch multiplayer on console was fucking awful. When somebody opened the menu, the whole game froze for like 10 seconds. Let's be honest, in 2025, most companies they don't even know how to program split-screen multiplayer. The technology is too difficult for them. Remember when 343 was being guaranteed that there would be split-screen multiplayer in Halo Infinite, and then people were like, what the fuck, 343, where's my fucking split-screen multiplayer? And they're like, it's too difficult, we gave up. And then, like, the community was actually able to find a fucking bug that allowed them to play in split-screen. It wasn't even like a mod, I think. It was like an actual bug in the system that allowed them to play in functional split-screen. It was just like, holy shit, 343 is completely hopeless. What do you mean they don't know how? 343 games for Halo Infinite literally was like, it's technologically impossible, we can't do it, I believe. Let's actually look up to see what they said. I think there's still articles from the time. I can't remember what their excuse was. Let's Google 343 Halo Infinite split screen impossible. September 5th, 2022 from Hypebeast. 343 Industries backpedals cancels Halo Infinite co-op split screen update. We've had to make the difficult decision to not ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on split screen co-op and go after this list and all other things. I don't know if they said it was technologically impossible. They're just like, we can't do it. Basically anything that was capable. It really is becoming like, you know how in JRPGs you always like find some sort of dungeon which is like an ancient technological relic? Well, I guess I don't even have to say JRPGs. This is literally the plot of Halo. You're like this giant ring. It's from the Forerunners. We don't have the technology to recreate it anymore, and we don't know how they did this thousands of years ago. It's too technologically complex for us. That's basically what video game development is becoming. Half of these video game companies literally can't do basic shit because none of them can program because they only know how to use like Unreal Engine and stuff. None of them have had to design their own engines or actually program a single piece of code. So as a result, they're like, oh, I literally can't do it. It's too difficult. The Foreskinner's Gotchi Hyper. Yes. Halo had a surprising lack of gotchi if you think about it. You'd think that Halo would be more gay, but it kind of missed out on that opportunity. The only real gay moments you have is between Master Chief and Arbiter sucking each other's dicks every once in a while, and that's about it. They need to stop Nepo hiring, please God. We'll see. I doubt it. I mean, it feels like we reached whatever moment in time that we were during, like, the peak of the DEI, like, left-wing cancel culture. I don't know how we want to describe that era. It feels like it peaked, or at least ended with Snow White, I feel like was the last gasp of that whole thing. And we've now entered the correction phase. I don't know if that means we'll actually be able to hire, because like you have to build up expertise and shit, and none of these people have been doing that. So it's not just going to immediately reverse itself, but at least they might get rid of like all the Nepo hiring. And it's asking quite a bit though. Halo is gay now. You didn't see the Pride armor sets. Also, why the fuck? Have you noticed that being gay isn't actually about being gay anymore? It's just about displaying flags and shit to show how special you are. Like half of this shit is just like virtue signaling. It would be like if all the foot fetishists had a special flag. And what color would that be? It would probably be like yellow. The fumes coming off the feet. It's all pop sexuality, essentially. If you're allowed to just be like, I am, how do I put it? I'm a trans, I'm a male to female trans, but I'm a female lesbian. It's like, come on, man. You just want an excuse to fuck women. The real Gaga was the flags we made along the way. Sexuality just seems to me like something very private. That's why it's going to be very hard for even the more conservative Christian Republican politicians to overturn something like gay marriage. But then they can still get a lot of political support over shit like trans athletes, because sports is something that happens in the public sphere, whereas sex and like marriage and stuff and personal relations is stuff that happens in the private sphere. And ultimately people don't really give a fuck of what you do in the private sphere because you're doing it out of their view, whereas just by definition sports viewing is something that everybody is watching out in the open, so it completely affects us differently, which is why Trump was like, like anti-trans athletes is one of our flagships of his campaign, you know? And that way Japan has got it right. They don't offer that many helpful rights or anything to sexual minorities, but they also don't have like Christianity either, so there's not a lot of people who complain about the existence of homosexuals. You're just supposed to do in Japan, you're just supposed to do everything behind closed doors and not bring it out into the public. In the public in Japan, you're just supposed to have like dead fish eyes and not ever look at anybody or speak to anybody. You're just supposed to be a walking zombie corpse that lays your life down for your company. I find every public show of affection to be absolutely abhorrent to look at, no matter who or what the partners are. I generally feel the same way, but I will say that it gets exponentially worse the uglier the people are who are doing public shows of affection. Like, even if they're hot, I'm still like, get a fucking room. Don't bring that out in front of me. But when you get like ugly people making out, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm gonna puke. The only public shows of affection that are allowed are anime girls holding hands in the 2D realm. That's it. I had to lifeguard as my primary job for the earlier stages of my life, and every once in a while there'd be like teenagers who would show up at the YMCA to make out in the pool. I had to be like, get that shit out of here, fucking kids. Don't make me beat your ass. Respect my authority as the lifeguard. Speaking of lifeguarding, besides the people making out and then the kids shitting in the pool, the other one of the worst people we've had was there was a black girl who had hair extensions who went into the pool, and then I don't know what kind of glue the hair extensions were being used, but they started coming off in the fucking pool, and she didn't even start cleaning after them herself. She just left. So the lifeguards had to like fish 20 dead dread hair extensions out of the pool like they were like some dead animal. It was fucking awful. Please ask your hairstylist whether your hair extensions can withstand water if you're going to get in the fucking pool. The person I had the least problem with that I still was like, the manager had to tell them that they had to do something about it was, the pool was like a family pool, and there was one Brazilian mother who showed up in a Brazilian style swimsuit, if you know what I mean, as in like full fucking thong. I was like, LMAO. And I think the manager had to talk to her, telling her that she's not to wear a fucking thong. We didn't have any rules against wearing a thong. She was also relatively attractive, so I was like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Also, there was one guy who wasn't even in the pool. He just showed up at the poolside, and he started talking to the other lifeguards, including me, and being like, hey, when you're getting off. I'm not even sure he was gay. I think he was just possibly on the spectrum, and he really wanted a friend or something. Or he was a gay rapist. It's hard to tell, honestly. But yeah, we had to have him escorted off the property. So many of my black sisters wear horsehair on their heads. I mean, I think white girls get extensions too now. But it's definitely more common in the black community. Black women and hair is just like a minefield of various chemical treatments and, you know, hair extensions and time-consuming stuff that's probably bad for them. What about pitching tents at the pool? We don't have any rules against having a boner. But maybe we should. That scream of pain from the elf is kinda hot. Yes, we're all sadistic here, aren't we, fellow pain coomers? It's okay, she deserves it. She's an elf. Here, I'll show you the stream. I'm looking forward for the Solus hiring a voice actress to scream in pain. At this point, women wearing their hair short should be normalized. True. Excellent opinion, sir. They literally found that black and Latino women apply more products with carcinogens compared to white women. Yes. But we should have known that based on the various styling culture they have. Like the hair straighteners and stuff, that's getting you fucking killed. Alright guys, which is the most Kino hairstyle you want? This has too many long hairs. The short ones, I was thinking, I think you could look hot with just straight up. Alright. I think you can just like, just straight up give women men's hair. Just like, 7-3 partitions. Like she's a salary man. And just like have like one piece of hair dangling like that. As long as like, you give like some slight length in the back. I mean, isn't this more than enough? This will be easier for all women. Buzz cut. I like your cut experience. I mean, or you could be like, so we've had the shaves. I don't think we need any more shaves. We've had like 10 years of shaves, right? Like we need more Giga short like this short. This is fine. We can also have the weird ass full mohawk types. But no more shaves. I'm tired of shaves. It's come to mean something else that it wasn't supposed to mean back in the day. First hairstyle on a bunch of Korean Instagram models. The thing is, this is something that a lot of people have pointed out, but short hair is helpful when you have big boobs. Because you have all of this extra space, like the white areas here really accentuate the booba. It makes your eyes go to the neck and shoulder line, which in turn, you know, drags your eyes down to the booba. Short hair, large boobs. That's the new meta, guys. Alright, we don't need to draw any more booba. We got more booba that we have to draw over here. What about a Shaggy-esque hairstyle? Shaggy-esque hairstyle is just... I don't know, I can't even remember what his hair is like. I only remember that he has a beard. It pops more, yeah. The problem is that women don't really care about men's opinions when it comes to fashion. No matter how much men are like, we don't actually like it when you do that thing. Women are like, no, yes you do. I look so hot, don't I? And if guys are like, they're like, I look hot, right? And you're like, sure, whatever. Waste all of your income on this whatever fashion choice that you're making. It's not like women don't care what men think about their fashion and styling choices. That's the weird part. It's like they expect you to appreciate the money and time that they're spending on it. But if you're like, I don't actually really like that, then they'll get angry. It's kind of like how guys love working out and getting fucking ripped and stuff. And if a woman was like, I actually don't find you more attractive after you've gained all that stupid muscle just because you've been wasted $10,000 on steroids, I don't actually find you more attractive. And guys would be like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? I'm a Sigma male now, you're supposed to like me. How is this possible, you know? It's the same zone. Basically, a lot of how attractive we are is already determined from our genetics at an early stage. So humans like to convince ourselves that we can change that through outside things like makeup or hairstyle or physical fitness and stuff like that. But in reality, we're actually kind of doomed if we've been born with bad genetics. There's a fair argument to be had there. Fuck that I'm working out. I mean, you can work out for like health and stuff like that, but after a certain point, women aren't going to be necessarily more attracted to you just because you're like super ripped. You're just doing it for self-satisfaction. What about plastic surgery maxers? Those are the people who have found true beauty. I could never insult my fellow plastic surgery chads. Look at Koreans or Hollywood celebrity of your choosing. All the Koreans look the same. If you want to get the true plastic surgery maxers, I think you should be like browsing Korean TikTok and stuff. I feel is where you can find the true champions of that genre. They also have several layers of face app bullshitting as well, but there's some wiggle room, but yeah, for the most part, we're boned. I mean, if you're grossly obese and you lose weight, then yeah, you'll probably be more attractive. But especially makeup, I think. Women think that, like, men can't tell that they're wearing makeup, and if you're like, I don't really think you need to wear that much makeup, they'll be like, no, men can't even tell. When women are wearing natural makeup, it doesn't mean they're not wearing makeup at all. You can't even tell. It's like, yes, I can fucking tell, you stupid bitch. You think I'm fucking blind? Of course I can tell. Stop trying to trick us at every single fucking point. I can tell you're wearing shit ton of makeup, okay? We're all just humoring you. It's not like the fucking shoujo manga where the girl who's wearing glasses suddenly takes off her glasses and now she's beautiful. You're not wrong, but makeup does make a big difference. It can't make up for your fucking facial structure, unfortunately. What the fuck is natural makeup? Dirt, soil, dust? It just means that you have light pastel lipstick instead of like bright red lipstick, that's all. For me, it's more about the intricacies of what constitutes being well dressed and how makeup goes into this whole mix. It's also tiresome. It's it's a gigantic fucking scam industry. The fashion and then like makeup industry, it's a massive fucking scam. And not having to pay into it is a huge benefit in your life. You know how I know that? Because I watched the NBA. The NBA went from players wearing like throwback, possibly gang symbol jerseys and stuff like that, and then David Stern was like, guys, this is hurting our corporate image. We have to sell this sport to white people. So then they're like, NBA players have to wear suits and look professional. And then all the suit companies were like, yay, now we can market our fucking Dolce & Gabbana suit or some shit to NBA players. And then NBA players were like, holy shit, now we can, now everyone's looking at whatever clothing that we're wearing while we walk to the arena. That means we can fucking shill our own clothing brands. And then what you get is fucking Russell Westbrook wearing a traffic uniform. Like, it's like a fucking... He was wearing, like, a construction vest. So then Russell Westbrook starts showing up at games like this with fucking like pants that are too short that expose his ankles, except I'm not even sure if his ankles are fully exposed. Are these like 3/4 socks with like open skin in between them? I have no fucking idea. Flat silver shoes and wearing a fucking construction vest. And people were like, oh man, Russ, he's so fashionable. How can we, what can we learn from this titan of the fucking fashion industry? It's just because he's tall, guys. Also, you guys are, you know, just desperate to have some sort of new ideas. Oh, it's also bothersome. Might be sports tape, maybe. I'd like to shit on Russell Westbrook harder, but he's kind of saving the Nuggets season right now, so... Yeah, I think it is sports tape. Leave him alone, Keck W. I will continue to shit on Russell Westbrook's fashion choices forever. Although, I will admit, it's more fun to have Russell Westbrook dressing up in ridiculous outfits than just like the standard NBA player who's like, I have my own clothing brand and then I'm gonna wear that. Although, I think you're not allowed to wear... Maybe it's like you're allowed to wear your own clothing brands while you're walking to the arena, but you're not allowed to wear them in game. I remember that there are some players getting fined because they have their own personal clothing brands and they were like shaving the brand name onto the side of their head and stuff. And they would get fined for that, because I know you're not allowed to market your own shit while you're playing. Because, you know, that's what the corporate sponsorship is for. It's kind of ironic that out of those 3 Oklahoma City Thunder guys, Harden, Russ, and KD, Russ is the one that despite losing his ability to actually like be an effective basketball player in terms of like shooting and stuff like that, is still the one that is actually seems to care the most about basketball and is playing the hardest. Harden is like choking on Game 7 for like the 3,000th time in his career, and KD is on his 8th team as he fucking tanks every single team that he asked to be traded to. How do you lose that? You mean, how do you lose your ability to shoot? Are you talking about Russell Westbrook? Well, Russell Westbrook could never really shoot, but now that he's old, he can't really jump in the same way that he used to be able to. And everybody has figured out that he can't shoot, so 90% of his offense right now is running around and grabbing loose balls and stuff, which is why he's on a minimum contract. And yet the Nuggets need him to be good, or else they're just going to immediately lose because all of their other players are fucking ineffective. So usually it's the uggos who go for the glaring makeup, or you're like part of some sort of specific fashion genre, like you're a goth or something. I don't know, man. I feel like you're ugly no matter what, so if you're ugly, like, you really can't escape it. The other day I was watching news, I think it was local news, but they were talking